Question 8. Marginal product of labor formula. Did I not just do this? So nobody did a couple of questions ago. Regardless, here we've got our junior tutors written at the change in TP over the change in variable resource, which is labor. TP refers to total production. If there's an increase in production following the employment of one more laborer, then the firm is said to benefit from the marginal product of labor. However, the increase in production is dependent on other factors of production, such as capital, land, and entrepreneurship. The firm does not have enough capital or resources. Employing one more person will not increase production because the employee cannot use the other factors of production to increase the firm's output. What they're referring to in the latter half of this is Cobb-Douglas production function, which you may have seen in undergrad, and we'll definitely spend some time with in grad school. It's a macroeconomic model that you can make pretty complex with a ton of inputs, much too complex for the stream. So I'm just going to rewrite what I believe I had written earlier. Marginal product of labor is going to equal, they've got change in TP, I've written change in Y, total production, Y is for output. Regardless, we're talking GDP for a nation, an industry, whatever, divided by the change in labor. And I'm again going to write what I wrote earlier in case OneClass cuts these videos separately. So I'm going to say that the marginal product of labor marginal product of labor is the additional output that arises from an additional unit of labor. So there are diminishing marginal returns to labor, like with most things. So if you are at a, in a scenario where you only have 2 workers doing all the work and you add a 3rd worker to the mix, it's likely that your output is your production is going to increase quite a bit because you've just increased your workforce by 50%. When we are talking about an economy with, 10 million people, and you add 1 person to that 10 million people economy, there is going to be less of an increase in output than there was in the scenario where there was only 2 people. That is diminishing marginal returns of labor. So we can move on from that. On to question 9 here. I think there's 12 or 13